"6'1" St. Joseph basketball player Min Yang Dao had a sensational grade 10 season and became the best grade 10 hooper in Red Deer. In this project, we'll be looking at 3 different parts of the circulatory system: how the heart operates, blood pressure, and blood circulation in the body. We'll be going through this to understand how Min Yang Dao accomplished all this. First off, we will look at how blood transports through our body and how blood circulates in the heart. We start with the oxygenated blood returning to the heart through the inferior and superior vena cava. And this blood will empty into the right atrium. Then the right atrium contracts through the tricuspid valve into the right ventricle. The right ventricle then contracts through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary artery, then goes through the left and right lungs to receive oxygen and release carbon dioxide. After the blood leaves the lungs, the oxygenated blood will return to the heart in the pulmonary vein. The pulmonary vein will then empty the blood into the left atrium. Then the left atrium will contract to the bicuspid valve or mitral valve into the left ventricle. The left ventricle then contracts through the aortic valve into the aorta and onto the rest of the body. Considering how fast-paced of a sport basketball is, how does the heart provide the muscle with oxygen in order to perform beyond capacity? So how does the blood go through the body? The oxygenated blood will go to the aorta. The aorta is a large tube that branches in other many smaller tubes. In order for blood to go into muscles, the blood in the artery will go through the arteriole, into the capillary where exchange happens, and the oxygen will go in the near tissues. Then it will go in the venule to the veins. After that process, the deoxygenated blood will go back to the heart, repeating the same process again. Now we will take a look at blood pressure and how it affects the body. What is blood pressure? Blood pressure is a measure of how hard the blood pushes against the wall of your arteries. So what factors affect the blood pressure? One would be cardiac output and peripheral resistance. Cardiac output refers to the amount of blood pumped by the heart, and peripheral resistance refers to the resistance encountered by blood flow. So for athletes like Min Yang Dao, what blood pressure would be ideal? A normal blood pressure is 120/80. While performing, a normal blood pressure should be around 160 to 200/80. But what do this number mean? The number on top is systolic blood pressure. It represents the blood pressure in the arteries when the heart beats. The number on the bottom is the diastolic blood pressure. It represents the pressure in the arteries when the heart is at rest between beats. Having a higher systolic blood pressure will help the athlete to receive more oxygen in their muscle to perform better. After doing something active, how does the body regulate blood pressure? It will go through a process called homeostasis, in which blood pressure levels are regulated by the body to keep it stable. Your body will use blood pressure receptors in arteries which sends a signal to the medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata acts as a control center that integrates sensory information and adjusts cardiovascular responses to maintain stable blood pressure. Having a really efficient heart and circulatory system, as well as being able to maintain blood pressure, allowed Min Yang to perform really well and achieve place in the court. Now that we covered up how the heart operates, we get to see how Min Yang did it all.